Hello, adventurers. Lex Gray here. Welcome to another entry. Today we are exploring Morter's Travels, Episode 6. Okay, let's begin. I have intros and outros now, so I thought I'd make this channel more in tune with other solo RPG channels where they have typical intros and outros, and obviously there'll be an outro, and we'll hear that later on. Okay, I got more table space, so I got my got the rules here, got my character sheet here, got my notes here, and on the side I got the mouse and I got the Ironsworn worksheet that lets you track a bunch of little uh, vowels. So combat, all these project tracks. Okay, I'm excited for this one because we are about to venture off into the Pantheon, the peaks of Pantheon, which are right behind me here. So the marker below, as usual, I like to mention where we are. We are just at this entry point into the mountain range. These Pantheon peaks are vast, tall, towering over the tundra that surrounds, like a horseshoe, the north end of the Escabur Island. And we are basically, well, Morter is doing this side quest. It's going to have to be quick, so there may be some consequences for that, meaning a lot of the moves that we may do have to be rushed. I'm hoping some of those moves consider that. We're looking for Albin, the son of Griff. Albin was seen chasing after the bandits. I decided they're just bandits, not goblins, but bandits, just human bandits. No creatures yet, no non-human characters just yet. That can be kind of telling on this world setting. I think I've included elves in the past, but for now it's mostly human inhabitants. So these human bandits, light retcon from prior, are somewhere in the mountains. That's based on where Albin was chasing, running, or at least venturing into this landscape behind me. So we made our way, based on the roll, from Arlok to the tip, the foot of the mountain range. And I did fill in two boxes because this is a dangerous ranked side quest journey. So we have two boxes filled because we somehow found that this is where Albin may be at. So Albin is potentially kidnapped, trapped, captured, essentially, or lost. He could be anywhere in the. That could be consequential here. He could be lost. He could be dead. We don't know. This is what all the rolls will do. So with that in mind, what we're going to do is roll on the Oracle to see how things are as we enter this. Before we do a move, we're going to see how things are in the entry point into the mountains. So what I'll do is get to the usual page where we include actions and themes, and this will be for the 2d10s as usual. Left is the first digit, right is the second digit. We have 69 once again. Advance, okay? Next is going to be theme. Advance 32. Advance to superstition. Superstition. Okay. So the superstition is that these mountains are dangerous, that they are inhabited by monsters, creatures, all sorts of things. Though Mortar has never really encountered them before. Superstition, basically, word of mouth in the village, the city of Corwood has said that these mountains are just, at the end of the day, very dangerous. So the superstition, the advanced part, is that Mortar is going to just have to cut through and do his best to avoid any of these potential superstitions. And again, superstitions, danger. I say monsters and creatures potentially, like wildlife, etc. But there could be monsters. Maybe there's a giant troll walking around. We'll see. Again, mostly in human inhabitants, but I will not shy away from a sudden approach of a creature, a giant monster. It makes sense in the mountains here. Humans mostly inhabit the lower lands. That's fine. but once you get into the mountains, maybe there is a creature or two. These bandits are risking it all, but also using it to their advantage to hide out in the mountains. So that is basically on Mortar's mindset right now. He is mentally preparing, but because you know what? Let's make camp because we haven't done camp in a while. I think we haven't done camp since we left, after we left Corwood. So what we'll do is make camp. It's a move on adventure moves. When you rest and recover for several hours in the wild, roll supply. Okay, so rolling plus supply. Our plus supply is 3, and then we have the obvious options for strong hit, weak hit, and miss. Okay, this time I'm going to do better reading the dice because in the last episode I read I somehow got a strong hit over I think 110 die and a 4 or something. And one of my obviously one of my viewers pointed out, so thank you. So I'm going to re-roll plus supply, and that's plus 3 on the roll. That's a 6, 7, 8, 8 over a, yep, that's a 2, and that's a 6. That's a strong hit. Strong hit. You and your allies may each choose 2. Recuperate, take 1 health. My health is fine. Partake, suffer -1 supply, take +1 health. Again, health is good. Relax, take +1 spirit. That's something I do need to increase. I'm still at +4 from prior. Focus, take plus momentum. Momentum is going to be very helpful, especially where we're outside a civilization or any settlements. So relax and focus are going to be 2 potential options here. Prepare. When you break camp, add +1 to your undertake a journey. Ooh, okay. Well, my momentum is at 7. That's really good, but I +8 is near perfect. So what to do? At least we got a strong hit, so I can choose 2 of these. Should I prepare and take momentum, or prepare, take risk, relax? Well, our supply is still down at 3, and we can't really modify supply at this point until we do another type of resupply. That's another move when you hunt, forage, scavenge. We'll do that next. We're gonna do resupply, which makes sense to make camp during or after making camp. So let's just do relax. We take 1 spirit. So now we're back up to well, no, again, I have to remember that there's no time to relax. I gotta remember that the prerequisite here. We are in a rush, so I cannot do take 1 spirit. I have to limit our options here. We take 1 momentum, that's obvious. And then what I'll do is when you break camp and N+1 to undertake a journey. We are already in a journey, so I don't know if that will qualify. I'm sure I'll get flagged for that by my fellow viewers, but that doesn't really, we're already in a journey. So we're making camp during a journey. So I can't do that one. I'm going to basically, I can't do the health ones, so I'm going to have to do the spirit one. That's just what I'm ending up doing here. Now we're going to scavenge because we do need supply. Down to 3 is kind of on the iffy side. Resupply basically when you hunt, forage, scavenge, which we're doing. Again, there's these. The forest is very close, kind of peeking, not on the map, but in this picture there's forest. So I'm going to go with the picture here. When you hunt, roll plus wits, and that's what we'll see happen here now. My wits is 3, so it's good. That's going to be 5 total for our roll. And we get a weak hit. 6 beats 3 is B10. So 4, 5, 5 total. That gives us a weak hit. Take up to +2 supply, but suffer momentum for each. Oh, take up to +2 supply. So we suffer 2 momentum for a stock of, let's say we just do 1 supply bump. So now we're at +4, but we do 1 supply, 1 momentum reduction. So now I'm down to +7 for my supply. Okay, this doesn't really do much on, well, we can see narratively what happens after. So we break down our camp, we get our bag back on, we travel into the mountain range. So let's say we've moved into the journey phase out of camping. And that's going to be one of the last pages here, which is suffer moves. That's not it. It's going to be quest moves. So let's move our marker into the mountain range. We're just probably a quarter of the way into the mountains. So we're officially probably just here somewhere, right into between the peaks as they cross. And we're looking at these towering peaks as we're walking through, taking our time, also being careful. No, I'm sorry, not taking our time, but we're being careful. He is cautious. Mortar's a smart guy. He's not going to rush in here just willy-nilly, guns a blazing. He's going to be cautious while still trying to uh, briskly walk through following tracks. So we do actually have to do gather information because this is not just he doesn't have know where to go. He's not going to have. Uh, I'm not going to give him that much of an advantage. Yeah, I know where to go. It's just wherever the GM decides. No, we're gonna have to we're gonna have to be kind of difficult for him, making a challenge. This is dangerous after all, based on that ranking. So gathering information. When you search an area, ask questions. Okay, so this will envelope everything that happens up to the point we find the camp, if we find the camp. So this next move is going to encompass a lot. And gather information. So we're rolling plus wits. We're following a track. So this one actually really qualifies quite well for this part. Follow a track. So maybe we found some footprints. If we did, we're gonna roll plus wits. So it's +3 on the roll here. And I didn't use my momentum just yet, and there's a reason for that. So plus wits on this roll for gather information. So +3. Another 5. That does not beat either. So now I'm going to use momentum. So here's the thing. Momentum, we're going to take one of those dice down, and that's going to be, oh, I can't. 9-8. Let me pause the video just to check the rules really quick. Just have to verify the momentum only cancels the die out. The challenge die specifically doesn't boost my d6. That'd be God mode at some point. So I have +7. The 9, the 8 doesn't work. This is a core weak hit. This is a core miss. That it's okay. On a miss, your investigation unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your quest. Pay the price. So let me write a quick note here. Quest mountains. Now we got pay the price. So pay the price, PDP. Okay, pay the price is in its own little page here under fate moves. I can choose one. It says most obvious negative outcome because I've been rolling for pay the price the entire time. Every time we approach this, I've been rolling for it. But maybe we can choose one. It says envision 2 negative outcomes, rate 1 is likely, and ask Oracle, roll in the following table. So there's a couple of options you can do here. Let's see. Roll again, apply the result, not the first one. A person or community you trust and loses faith in you. That's not going to happen here because we are still on the quest. Griff is not just in there, oh, damn it, he's been gone for a day. What the hell's going on? That's not going to happen. You are separated from something or someone. We could be separated from the path we were on. We got distracted. Your action is an unintended effect. Something of value is lost or damaged or destroyed. The cloak, perhaps. Maybe the cloak was destroyed, lost. But I don't think he would just be wearing it for. He has travel wear for the cold, for this environment. So he is well equipped to be out in these mountainous terrain. So I don't think that'll be a reason to have another layer of clothing on just yet. Um, the current situation worsens. Let's roll for it. I mean, a lot of these are pretty good. A danger. It could just be a new foe. I'm gonna roll for it just for fun, and then if I don't like it, I'll just do the foe. So 99. Well, that's probably the worst one possible. Roll twice more on this table. Both results occur. If they're the same result, make it worse. Oh gosh, of course. Okay, so the first result is 36. So 36, and then what is? Oh my gosh, I can't see what that is. 53. So they're basically almost next to each other. So the current situation worsens. Duh. The cause it causes a delay and puts you at a disadvantage. There is an avalanche. Maybe that's it. There's an avalanche. Okay, we are in the mountains. There's snow everywhere. There is an avalanche. So while we're looking around, we're following trail. This causes disadvantage. The avalanche will cover the tracks. So I'm going to write down avalanche. I think that's how I spell it. Doesn't matter. You guys can't see it. Secured. Okay, so we're basically facing danger. This is a move. When you attempt something risky or react to an immediate threat, this is an immediate threat. Envision your action and roll. Okay, so our character is just he's going through the mountains. There is a lot of snow. He hears some crackling, and then all of a sudden there's a giant avalanche to his left, and it's coming at him. So he sees it. I'll let him see it, but I don't know. We'll see what we can do. With speed, agility, most likely will be edge. He's trying to avoid the avalanche. With charm and loyalty, courage, please don't kill me. Can't do that. Aggressive action. He takes a knife out and or a dagger and tries to cut the snow apart. Can't do that. I mean, it is a forceful defense. Strength. I mean, he can endure it. He can turtle turtle mode. Uh, the Turtle Club, if anyone gets that reference. Expertise, insight, observation, roll wits. He just stands there. Hmm, this this dire situation is coming at me, and I wonder what I can do, and it gets swept up and falls down the mountain. So most likely it's going to be Edge. I mean, I didn't have to do all that, but it was quite fun at the same time. So okay, we're going rolling for Edge, and that's going to be +3. So it's another good one. We'll do +3 on this roll. Okay, that's a 4. We tie, which doesn't qualify, but we are able to get a weak hit. Momentum is optional here. A weak hit, that's a 4, so that's over the 3. So 4, 3. Again, I'm double checking my results here because I messed up last time. A weak hit, you succeed but face troublesome cost. Choose one. You are delayed. That does make sense. But we do gain -1 momentum. You're tired, hurt, endure harm. You are dispirited, afraid, endure stress. I don't think an avalanche would scare him. You sacrifice resources, -1 supply. The first one seems to be most against Mortar. He's in a rush. He has on a limit of time here, so that would be against him, and I want to do that again. I want to challenge him here. You are delayed, lost, lose advantage, or face a new threat. So he had a trail, but he suffers a delay because of the snow. So he's got to find a way around. So -1 momentum on this. So he's got to find another way around. This could take some time. So again, we have to go back to gather information and see. Okay, so Mortar is his entire. He avoided being hurt. He just jumped back in time. The avalanche covers uh, this conveniently laid out trail that was going deeper into the heart of the mountains. And now it's covered by a random avalanche that could have been caused by just tremors or years of pile of snow. I don't know. It could be any reason. Um, oh, maybe there was a cause for the snow that was outside normal occurrences, like Mother Nature. Let's ask the Oracle. The chances, let's say 50-50. Was this avalanche caused by man or by something, a living thing? 50% chance. Okay, it was. So the avalanche was actually triggered by someone. Okay, that's interesting. Maybe it was a trap. You know what? Maybe it was a trap set by the bandits. That makes sense. Or it was a bandit, a scout. I use scouts quite often in this game. It was a bandit scout, that's a thing, who saw us and triggered the avalanche. Some type of pushed a rock, pushed a pile of snow, caused the avalanche. So it was something. I'm going to leave it at that. It was someone. It could have been a trap. Was it a trap? I'm going to say 75% chance. It was a trap. Okay, so we did trigger a trap. There was something, not a pressure plate, a wire that they set up. Somehow the kid probably went another path or avoided it or saw it. We were in a rush. Well, so is the kid. Like, he's less experienced, so he would have triggered the trap. You see, I'm developing logic, but I'm also contradicting it. So if this is the path the kid went, Albin, he would have triggered the trap himself. I think it would most likely would have been the scout because the scout. I'm gonna undo that roll. I'm gonna to contradict that roll and say it was a scout because if the bandits were fleeing back into their hideout in the mountains, then the scout would have been with them. So the trap doesn't make sense. The kid would have triggered it. He would have died. So we would see as he most likely would be buried beneath dozens of feet of snow. So it was a scout. So there's someone up there that's monitoring us. So we're going to gather information just based on the circumstances of. So Mortar is looking at the avalanche. He's trying to figure out what caused it and if there's another way around. But I think most likely who caused it. Now that we have that mindset that there is, it just kind of maybe it's a superstition from earlier. It's just superstitious that this just conveniently happened when he was crossing at this very moment in time. So I think just using his natural, his natural smarts for survival, this was probably this was probably triggered. So we're rolling gather information to see if he can spot. He's investigating if he can spot. This will also encompass if he can spot that scout, someone who triggered the trap. It was a set trap, but not a wire. It was done by that bandit. Okay, we're re-rolling here. It'll be plus wits, plus three again. Re-roll. Oh, nine. We okay, so this is a six, that's a nine. We beat the it's a weak hit. Okay, good. So the weak hit, yeah, it was a bandit that caused it. Write that down here. And the weak hit, the information complicates your quest or introduces a new danger. The bandit. Envision what you discover. Ask the oracle if unsure. Take plus momentum. All right, so he sees that he's not alone already. Like he just entered the mountain range, and as expected, he's in their territory. So now there's a bandit that's on top of the mountain, and he sees it's because it's a weak hit. He sees maybe the bandit is running away. Let's roll action theme to see what the bandit does. Maybe we'll see if this will work or not. Okay, so rolling two D 100 or yeah 2D 100s or 2D 10s as the 100. 19 or 16 evade. Okay, it's kind of what I just said earlier. Evade 90 evade quest. Okay, evade the quest. The quest from the bandit's perspective was to scout for any, as they always do. They have their patrol. They always keep an eye out for intruders. Mortar is an intruder, thus he caused a delay. He evaded the quest. Or maybe the quest was prior. He did the trap and he's evading. So he's running back to tell the gang that, hey, we have an intruder. He survived. So the bandit did see that Mortar survived, and Mortar just caught a glimpse of the guy turning around and running back behind the mountain. So he saw him, and now they know he's here. So I think Mortar can understand that, oh shoot, they know I'm here. I got to find a way around to make this quick to get the kid to save him. Also, does the bandit assume that the guy is here? So, does the bandit assume that Mortar is just traveling here? He's just on a hike, enjoying a Sunday afternoon? Or is he actually looking for Alderan? Alderan, I believe that's his name. I almost forgot his name. Alden? Albin, I'm sorry. Albin. Albin. Not Alderan or Aldrin. Albin, Aldrin, same, that's fine. Now, I'm going to assume yes. The scout is used to intruders probably, or not a lot of settlers or local occupants of this land would bother to venture into the mountains because of this, how dangerous it is. Again, superstition, but also the bandits use that to their advantage. So it could just be rumors that there's a troll walking around here. I'm going to use that. Let's use that. There's an evil troll that occupies these lands, or a dragon. Dragon is one other one because we talked about the dragon from the Temple of Dragon, and that was the whole Hulk arc. Um, they defeated the dragon, so the dragon's dead. It was just a shapeshifting tyrant, but again, the dragon's dead, or a dragon is dead. But we never really further just talked about how dragons could inhabit this land. As cliche, the go-to dragons are for fantasy, I think it's possible. Let's ask the Oracle. Are earlier I was thinking trolls, goblins, etc. What does occupy these mountains besides the bandits using it to their advantage? Dragons, most likely. So let's ask the Oracle here. 75% chance there is a dragon dormant in these mountains, and the superstition has become anything. Danger, monsters, shadows, dark magic, witches, anything. It just a word of mouth spreads like wildfire in public and can be from person to person, can change. The perception can change. The messaging can change. 75% chance. I'm hoping. Oh yeah, that's a strong yes. So dragon in mountains. This is huge. This throws a curveball into everything. Okay, so there's one major dragon that's dormant in the mountains at the moment in this time. And so Again, back to the reasoning for the bandit to flee or to suspect that Mortar is an intruder on purpose to save Albin. Make That's what he's thinking. He said this guy is here after us, so he flees, and that explains his evade. And Mortar sees that, and oh, I've been found. I got to get there quickly. I got to beat this guy. But the trail is covered. So is there another trail, another path he can take? 50% chance. That's a question for the Oracle. Is there another path available? 57. There's not many options, basically. That's a no. That's a very, very weak no because it's close to the number. We basically have to find another route. So here's what I'll do. I'm going to go quest moves and use this as a way to push to another waypoint. So you reach a milestone, you make significant progress in your quest to overcome a critical obstacle, which we didn't do. So this may not qualify. Do any of our asset cards work here? Well, we do have the robe, but he doesn't know about the robe yet. It says here in the card, I read this before in the last episode or two. These robes allow one to move through space and time. Once per day, the wearer can teleport to any previously visited destination. We haven't visited um, the camp, so I cannot use this just yet. This is our fast travel card back to Arlok, so it doesn't qualify. We have the ward, which is more so just for, oh, blade bound. Okay, so blade bound, when you enter the fray or draw a circle, oh, I'm sorry, I should have chose when you gather information. By listening to your blade, again, it's a plot device. It gives these little hints and tips. I didn't qualify for that, so I didn't get that bingo card. All right, that option. So we are at an impasse here. I cannot use a quest move because we are currently at an obstacle, and that is the past 20 minutes of the avalanche. Secure an advantage. Okay. Well, can he climb up the mountain? Probably not. Too steep. Can he go back and look for another trail? Possibly. Let's do that. Can climb over the snow? That's another possibility, but that's going to be very dangerous. But we have momentum, and he's determined, and he's fierce. So let's try that. Is he just going to climb over the snow? Let's try it. Obviously no modifiers here, just a straight roll. Because that challenge dice are always random, so it could be anything. If he gets lucky. I can secure an advantage though. Maybe that will help make another move. Yeah, let's do that. He's on a secured advantage. Maybe he has um, a item that can help here, a staff, or his boots are big enough to trench through the snow. Let's just secure an advantage, see what happens. So he's trying to figure out if he can he has time is limited, so he can't go back to search for another route. He's going to push on through, and this will secure an advantage. So he's gaining leverage here, making preparations to just walk on the snow, climb through if he has to. Maybe this avalanche wasn't deep enough to just cover the entire trail for like a mile, but maybe it was a couple 100 feet or so. All right, rolling for advantage. We're basically using wits here, expert observation, expertise, insight, this plus of wits. So we're doing a +3 on this roll. Oh, another 9. Look at that. We beat both with that total. So on a strong hit, you gain advantage. Choose one. Take control. Make another move now. Not a progress move and at +1. Prepare to act. Take +2 momentum. So what to do? We have a strong hit that gives us an advantage here. Take control. We can take control of the situation. We can climb over. Make another move now. So that will be, but it will be face dangerous, and we add +1 to the roll. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take control of the situation. So he's going to venture through the snow. This will be, I think, with just raw strength. So yeah, maybe it's going to be with speed. Actually, let's do speed. I'm going to quickly try to crawl over. So let's do edge. This would be +3, and then +1 from the other roll. So that's +4 total on this next roll. That's going to be 5, 6, 7, and we beat it. Strong hit. Great day for rolls. Oh, let me verify. 4, 6 are 4 total. 5, 6, 7. 7 over beats 7, or beats 6 and 4. Okay, again, double checking my work here. We succeed. You are successful. Take +1 momentum. He is on a roll here. Avalanches can't stop him. Again, makes sense. This isn't like a severe avalanche. The guy was probably 100 feet up, and he pushed. They just part of the mountain came down, not the entire mountain. You know, not the whole thing revealed itself to us. So yeah, I think that yeah. So we're gonna venture through the snow, and this will be a progress move. I think this qualifies. We got through this milestone, and we have to, when you make a successful progress in your quest by overcoming a critical obstacle, which we did, we're going to do that. I'm looking at the other options here. I think I might have to go back to, let's see, one moment, in memento. Undertake a journey, which we did. Reach your destination. Progress move. No, that's not what it is. Comes to an end. We're not even close to that. I'm trying to find if there was one to roll for a waypoint. I thought there was. We have, let's see, aid your ally, test your bond. Sorry, guys, my apologies. I'm just kind of revisiting these old pages here. Face a setback, out of supply, combat, face death. Okay, no, we do mark, it says dangerous quest, mark 2 progress. Okay, so we got deeper into, that's 2 progress. Now our 4 boxes are filled, are ticked. So we got in. We are now almost at the heart of the mountain range. And that shows, this avalanche that was triggered proves that, I'm going to write down that we got through plus plus, meaning that we got through with strong hits. So I'm thinking because of that trap, Mortar suspects that he is very close. They wouldn't have done that trap if we weren't in the right route. So good thing he didn't go back to search for the trail. He is on the right path. So again, he sees footprints once again. It hasn't snowed yet. Maybe these footprints are still visible. And now we're going to basically approach the following. This will be action theme. I'm going to roll once again. Whoops, I keep hitting the wrong button. That's a 5 and 8, so 58. Impress. Those are really close. 40. Impress. Opinion. Impress opinion. Okay, so the same scout who is going back sees, he takes a look back, he has his vantage point. Maybe there's a trail on top of the mountain that they made themselves. He looks back and sees that Mortar survived. So he's going to double time it and head back to camp. That's also a bad thing for Mortar. But he sees Mortar survive, so he's generally impressed. He's like, oh, I should have kicked more rocks down the mountain. So should have Looney Tunes it. So Looney Tune it. So he sees that Mortar is survived. That's just how I'm interpreting that answer. Or it could mean that maybe even Mortar's impressed by himself. So that would increase spirit, but his spirit's already up. Okay, now we are going through the mountains, and the chances of let's roll to see if we encounter anything. This is a traditional roll. 25% chance. The mountains, the dragon is dormant somewhere else. Let's see what happens. We travel for half an hour or so. 50%. Yep, we do. We encounter something, though it is very minuscule. 50 is such a small number that most likely it's going to be a wild creature that is aggressive. Let's see. Is it going to be? We can use the action themes again to figure that out. I don't think 50. It's a straight on the 50 yes. So I don't think it's going to be a a dragon or a bandit. It's going to be a wild creature that's attacking, most likely. So let's see. Sometimes I like to use action descriptor for this. 51. Um, preserve. Yeah, preserve. Okay, territorial. It's an animal that's territorial. 61. Greed. Oh, yeah, the animal is hungry. It's foraging. Okay, so it's a wild creature. Don't have to go into the details. I can probably use the book. Let me use the book, and I'll find a creature that kind of fits that profile. Okay, I'm going for animals, not wild creature just yet, because it was a very, very weak yes. So I'm only going to give him an animal well, it will be combat because the animal is territorial and hungry, as I've deciphered those two those two results. So bear is formidable, one progress per harm, inflicts three harm. That is that's very dangerous. I could be a bear. Bears do live out in the mountains. Boar, dangerous, two progress per harm, two harm. So it is tier two. Let's see. Drives, forage, protect territory, defend south. Boar is very qualifying for our role because a bear finds food, defends cubs. That also could qualify, but I think the boar is more direct with my answer here, with my results. A gaunt, dangerous, horse-like creature with a lean skeleton frame, goes because run like the wind. Uh, Probably wouldn't attack here. Marsh rat, eat everything, breed. Um, I think the boar qualifies here, so I'm gonna write down boar, and we're gonna use our sheet here to write boar, and the boar is going to be dangerous. So it is won't be easy. That's basically 2-2 for everything. It will inflict two harm. We can inflict two progress when attacking. Now, okay, it's a board. We got that. That's been settled. Love that. I'm glad there's a bestiary in in that book. Now, upon watching some videos, the bad spot I highly recommend. The YouTuber does a lot of great how-to videos on Ironsworn. And based on comments from my fellow viewers, I was looking into combat. And so when you don't want to detail everything that happens in combat, battle. Again, the YouTuber, my commenters mentioned this. Battle just compresses it, it zooms out, it compresses it all to one literal move. Do I have time right now to do a battle with a boar? Maybe, but I haven't used battle yet. I've used enter the fray, strike, clash, and the others. Turn the tide in the fight. Let's use battle. I'm just really curious how this will turn out. Okay, so when you fight a battle, it happens in a blur. Envision your objective and roll. Primarily fight at range, using speed, its edge. Depending on your courage, allies, companions, it's just us. So we can't use heart. Fighting close to overpower your opponents, most likely iron. Fight using trickery or befuddle your opponents. It's a board. You could trick it and throw a cloak on. Oh, the cloak. Throw the cloak on it. But then it teleports back to the village and probably kills Grift, and we don't want that. Um, Fight using careful tactics to outsmart your opponents. It's a bore. We can probably do that. Wits is one of our better, but shadow trickery is our highest attribute at 4. Trickery to befuddle your opponents. What could we do to trick it? So let's try it. We could try that in battle. Again, I do want to, you know, I'm tempted to use the usual mechanics for combat, but like the Bad Spot YouTube channel says, when you're using those mechanics, your combat is not an initiative role, which I think I was treating it too much like that, traditional D&D. Earlier in my video, I did have in the series, I had combat, and I was against two of the cold fronts, and I was treating it too much like initiative. You roll, they go, then they roll, you go, you roll, back and forth basically, with some uh, guidance from the mechanics here. But it's narrative. You talk what you want to do, and if you hit that trigger word, you then roll for it. But you can still do anything you want. But there's obviously moves. So let's just do battle because it's just a very minor incident. This is a minor foe. Well, not troublesome, but dangerous. So let's roll for it. This will be, I'm going to say we just figure out a way to trick it. And um, maybe he's in a rush, so he's going to try to use shadow to not kill it, just to scare it off or do something with it, to push it down the hill or trick it into throwing food on the side because it's hungry. We can do that. So I think that qualifies for shadow. Here we go. Hope this works because there's still the other two options of miss or fail, or weak hit and miss. Okay, we're doing shadow. +4 on this roll here. Let's go. +4. Okay, so we have 9 and 7. We have the 8 total, and I cannot lower my momentum of 8 over that 9. So it's a weak hit. So again, 4 total bonus, that's 8, and we beat the 7. Okay, this board was actually difficult. What happened? A weak hit, you achieve your progress, you achieve your objective, but unconditionally, but, no, I'm sorry, not unconditionally, but not without cost. Pay the price. Okay, pay the price is going to be helpful here because again, we're compressing the entire battle into one move. Let's roll to see what it was. If I don't like it, we'll see. 72. It is stressful. That makes sense. Okay, it's stressful. This delays us. This boar was a bother. We eventually dispersed of it, so we're down to plus. Um, I'm seeing distressful is a condition. Wounded, shaken, unprepared, no, encumbered, burdens, maimed. Nope, none of those. We don't have any abilities. So spirit. I think distress causes a decrease in spirit. Okay, so we defeated the boar, so I don't need to worry about that anymore. And I can cross that off on the sheet here. So boar has been defeated, or again scared away, whatever we did, and let's put down win. Okay, so that is technically another objective, a waypoint-ish. I mean, it was an obstacle, but not extremely difficult. So let's just say that let's roll on the gather information to see what's next. This will help guide us to our next step. Okay, you searching area. We continue our search. We're walking into the heart, most likely where the bandits are. The heart of the mountain range, most likely where the bandits are hiding. So we're re-rolling for gather information. This will be um, plus wits. So 3, 9, 9. Ooh, 6. Yeah, that's bad. Something happened. Okay. Even with a share a bond, it says +1. Nope. Oh, it says you ask questions of a person with whom you share a bond. No. Yeah, we 3. That's bad. So I can't decrease either of those with my +8 momentum. So it's a miss. Your investigation earns a die a threat or reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your quest. Gee, I wonder what it is. Shoot. Okay, so it could be the dragon, maybe, or the bandits around us. So because we dealt with the board, that delayed things. The bandit scout ran back to get reinforcements, and guess who shows up? So that could be an option here, but I love using the action theme Oracle. It's been giving us great results. Let's continue its stride. So we have 23 manipulate, 92 loss, manipulate loss. Okay, so this has to be against, because that roll, it has to be against our character. So I'm going to say it's from the bandits. They manipulate loss. The time, loss of time. They manipulate the fact that it gives them time to manipulate the scenario where they get reinforcements and bandits show up. So all the bandits show up, or at least let's say a couple of them show up. So there's a few that appear in the mountains. And again, they're using the trail. So it's a strong, it was, oh, I forgot. Dual nines. It was a, um, it was a match. I'm sorry. I caught that in time. I'm sure some of you were ready to type, and then I'm just nosing now. So matches on a failure is very bad. Shoot, most likely is the dragon or the scouts got us ambushed. Your match represents a heightened negative outcome, complication, and new danger. If you're unsure what happens, ask the oracle. We just did. Manipulate loss or something like that. Yeah, the bandits surround us. I mean, I don't know what to think. It's like the dragon, but the dragon, I'd say the dragon's far more deeper into another part of the mountain range. I don't think it like just happens to be the moment we see a dragon. So I'm going to say that it's going to be the bandits. So I'm going to turn my notes over here. Episode 6 continued. Continued here, and yeah, I mean that's troublesome, but it's a problem. But that's what's going to happen here. Okay, so we encounter the bandits. Let's ask the Oracle. Is this going to be a couple of scouts up in the on the hills with bows about to fire? 75% chance. I don't think they'll just walk right up to us and say, "Hey, what are you doing here?" 75% chance. Yep, it is. Okay, so we're surrounded by archers. All right, so surrounded by bandit archers. Okay. Oh, man, and that's where we're gonna leave off. So Morter is like, they're gonna capture him. I don't think they're gonna shoot him, but we'll find out in the next episode. I'm gonna leave it at that. So again, well, that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed this telling. Please subscribe, like, share, and most importantly, comment. Again, I want to reemphasize commenting is the biggest part of my channel. I can always just say subscribe, like, share, blah, blah, blah. But really, it's the engagement that matters most to me. See you in the next entry. So I'm calling these entries. So there you go. That's my YouTube qualification dialogue. Thank you guys, as always. I'll see you next time.